The search for missing young mom Diana Rojas has taken a very dark turn.
They said it's homicide.
An unidentified man calls Long Beach, California police claiming Diana is not missing. She's been murdered.
We had an anonymous tip that came in regards to where the remains of Diana Rojas was buried.
Detective Mark Biggle says the caller gives specific details about where to find Diana's body. He tells cops she's buried on the outskirts of Ridgecrest, a tiny town outside of LA near the Mojave Desert.
There's no way to figure out who it is that made the call in. So to do our due diligence, since this is an anonymous tip, and it was leading down that road of it looks good, we needed to check it out.
Long Beach police officially reopened Diana's cold case file with a tall task, trying to figure out who would want the young mother dead and why.
At that time, there was no key suspect. Of course, they were looking at one person in particular, David Howard, because he was the last one to see her alive.
David Howard was Diana's new boyfriend, and her brother Solomon also believes it had to be someone close to her who took his older sister.
Whoever did this to her, in my opinion, had to be someone she knew. Someone she knew, someone who knew about her.
Detective Beagle begins searching for a connection between Diana and the town of Ridgecrest. Then it hits him. Ridgecrest is directly across the desert from Fort Irwin.
Her husband, Americo Rojas, was at that time a member of the United States Army, who was also living at Fort Irwin.
Americo, an Army engineer, just happened to operate earth movers and diggers. And remember, the tipster told cops Diana's body was buried in the desert, and her black pickup truck was missing. And this was a couple going through a nasty divorce and a bitter custody battle over their young daughter, Mercedes. But Americo had an alibi for the night Diana disappeared. He told police he was at his sister's with his daughter. He has never been named a suspect in Diana's disappearance. But something still doesn't sit quite right with Detective Beagle. So he began to dig a little deeper. And there are three things that have really raised his suspicions. Cops claim Americo had been trying to take out a $300,000 life insurance policy on Diana after she had gone missing. Then police say they can no longer confirm Americo's alibi that he was inside his apartment with his daughter. But the most alarming red flag, detectives say an Army buddy told his superiors at Fort Irwin that Americo often bragged cops would never find Diana. And Detective Beagle says with that information and the fact that her ex operated earth movers, he now believes Diana's missing pickup truck is buried with her in the Mojave Desert.
The vehicle has never been turned up.
But finding Diana's body and any buried clues in the middle of the desert, even if she was inside her pickup, would be like searching for a needle in a haystack.
We went out to Ridgecrest, and we noticed the area that was given us from this anonymous caller was a very large swath of desert. She could have been buried anywhere in this swath.
But there was one last shot. The world's premier forensic investigators, a Colorado-based company called NecroSearch.
They do volunteer work for police departments in order to find clandestine graves.
NecroSearch uses satellite imaging and cadaver dogs to sniff out bodies no one else seems to be able to find.
We sent them these satellite images, and they sent me back a picture with 11 anomalies.
Anomalies are geographic changes that can only be detected by satellite imaging. So theoretically, if someone buries a body or a truck, a satellite map would look noticeably different from one day to the next.
I then went out to this one area, and they kind of gave me a checklist of what to look for in this area. I was able to kind of narrow down the 11 anomalies to 5 anomalies. So I brought out cadaver dogs. We ran them through their processes, and 3 of the cadaver dogs showed interest on the one anomaly that NecroSearch basically said would be the best one out of all of them.
But what's unearthed turns out to be more heartbreak for the already devastated family.
There was nothing.
Americo Rojas still owns a home in Long Beach. He's cut off all ties with Diana's family. They haven't seen the 2-year-old since Diana went missing 16 years ago.
She was raised by her father, and today she's 18 years old.
Crime Watch Daily reached out to Americo, but he's not returned our phone calls. Police tell us he's always said he had nothing to do with Diana's disappearance, and he's never been charged. Detective Beagle still believes Diana is buried somewhere out there in the Mojave Desert. Her family spends every day hoping this will be the day police find her and bring her home.
You never forget, but you just find a way to, just kind of keep going forward. But it's just, you always are looking to get closure.